Time for a washing. So what's going on, Mark?
Well, I'm going to have them seal the roof, and the best way to do that is to have a nice clean roof so that there's no excuses for things to not stick to the roof while you're getting it clean. And they have a sale, a Black Friday sale, where you get $25 off, yeah.
Oh, brother.
And it's only $3.85 a foot to wash it, times 44 feet. Do the math. I think it's about $145 to wash it. So
That'll be nice to have the roof washed.
right, and it's easy for people to think, well, why don't you just wash it yourself? Well, if they did that, they'd have 50 coaches, people spraying water all over the place. The coaches are only about 15 feet, 20 feet on center. It's an impossible situation normally to be able to wash it when you're in a campground, much less when you're in a parking lot like we are. We're at National Indoor RV. Let's shut this.
Plus, one of the things about washing it yourself, and we have washed it ourselves, it's just that we cannot wash the roof. So that's the big thing. And every time it rains, it just ends up streaming down. But you can see all the bottom, just splattered mess. New tires, dirty wheels. What's that? Somebody left a handprint. Obviously dirty.
It's a busy place here. We just pulled Myles up over into the wash area. You can see that they have a bridge crane on the center of the coach that they connect the safety harness up when they're on the roof. That's the main reason why we pulled in here in the wash bay to get the roof cleaned, because I'm going to have them check the roof for any leaks and replace any caulking that needs to be done. You can see that it is just packed with coaches that are either in for repairs or they're jockeying around because they store them here. This building stores hundreds of coaches for people when they're working or when they're off season, but then they have bay after bay of repair facilities. They're actually repairing some of them out here on the concrete pad, and they're just lined up and they're coming in one after another. Very busy, successful place. So imagine the Chan man doing this, and that's exactly why we have it done when the price is reasonable. Over the years, we've paid a lot and a little to have this done. I can remember one time in Las Vegas, we were lucky enough, I believe it was maybe after tipping, it might have been under $300 to have this thing washed and waxed. An entire family of people showed up and worked on it, and it really did a great job. You can see that they're kind of planning what they're going to do there, because there's a whole pile of solar panels up there. We bought this rig used, and the previous owner put on, I believe, 8 solar panels. So it really sucks up a lot of the real estate to walk around on. It's always nice when the person that's walking around up there has got good tennis shoes on and is light and agile. None of those things except the rubber tennis shoes describe me. So it's 3:58 in the afternoon. They probably started this at least 15 minutes ago. I'm going to time how long it takes. They got 3 people working on it, and might be a pretty good value by the time I'm done. I can tell you that the beauty of getting your rig washed at a place like this that has this safety structure where the guys can go up on the roof with a safety harness is that they can truly concentrate on what they're doing up there, and that is blasting away the layers of dirt and grime and sap that are on your roof without constantly worrying about falling off and injuring themselves.
It's kind of nice as it comes off the roof, they're washing it off the sides.
Working on the top of our roof is pretty typical on a lot of the big rigs that have solar panels. There's virtually hardly anywhere to stand up there. In fact, when these guys were working up there, they were all forced to walk in one area that they actually found was a little soft. We'll talk more about that later. Here you can see they're bringing this specialized contraption they have to wash the side of the RV, and I can remember the first time I saw this, I wasn't impressed, and I didn't expect it to do that good of a job because, you know, a lot of car washes that have these, it doesn't work out too well. But these are such straight boxes, and they're so difficult to get uniformly cleaned top to bottom. But the real corker is you can see that radius up there on the roof, how they're literally polishing it clean. And I'm here to tell you that after I saw my rig, which I care a lot more about than watching somebody else's rig get washed, it did a really good job, and you can see that the guy is following the machine on the tail end there so that all of that debris that has just been dislodged and washed, he's cleaning the final amount of residue there that might have been left behind. So it just is fantastic, and each side only takes a minute and a half. We've had our rig washed at Blue Beacon about 3 times, and it would be nominally about half as expensive, let's say $75. But my memory is that we'd be queued up in line behind a whole bunch of trucks. Some of them had all sorts of debris in them. I'm talking about things that could damage your tires, and then there was all sorts of food products and probably animal products that would be being flushed out of the trailers of some of these trucks, and it just didn't seem right for me to be rolling in then right after that. And then the guys would take out their brushes and they would do the best job that they could, but nonetheless they'd be scrubbing away at the side with these brushes of unknown origin, and it just wasn't the kind of polishing operation that you just saw take place here.
So it took them 1 minute and 30 seconds each side. That'd be an hour and a half for us.
Well, I've been timing them. They started, you know, because they had to set up, you know, even if you do it yourself, you have to set up.
Right.
So about 3:45 they started, and right now, as I speak, it's 4:28. So by the time it's all said and done and fooling around, they're going to have almost an hour in, and that's with 3 people.
Wow, good point. I haven't seen it that shiny and black before. I forgot it was black.
Yeah,
I thought it was charcoal gray.
actually, for the longest time after I bought it, I thought it was brown until somebody told me it's black, and then I went out there with a shirt like this, and and I would not have intentionally bought this color. It is what it is. We had to buy what was available used. You can see that one there. There's a Ventana. It's kind of blue and kind of a copper tone and a beige. I mean, look how awesome that color is. In front of the Burke shower. So we got the end one, and then we got the Ventana.
Nice.
Really a cool color.
Yeah.
So planning our exit here, honey, why don't I just crank it hard and back right here and then shoot out 90 miles an hour.
That's a plan.
Okay, I'll try not to lift the front wheels off.
Oh, no. Please don't.
So Mark's doing a really good job backing this thing in, getting ready to take the corner there. And
how'd you do that? You're amazing.
that's a editing tip that trick that we found. So I had to get back in the rig and continue driving.
And there he goes.
In addition to selling RVs and repairing them, they can also do chassis work on all of the different models. But you'll see here that a big part of their business is also storing rigs. Now inside it's climate controlled, perfectly clean, rodent free. You can see that there's cords laying on the ground there. All of these rigs are plugged in so that the batteries are charged and ready to go. And when you need your RV and you're all set to go on a trip, you give them a call. The porters come out, jockey these things around, get your rig out, and it'll be ready for you. Sitting outside, if you need it fueled up, they'll even take care of that for you.
What would we call this? Detailing?
It's called detailing, yeah. So if you were getting a full wax job now, they would take all the water off, they'd let it sit for a while, they might fool around with the tires, and as soon as it's dried off, they'd start waxing it. In my next life, I'm going to build a garage like this next to my house, and then I'll work on it myself and save lots of money.
In your next life. There'll be spaceships in your next life.
Yeah. Sue just said there'll be spaceships back in your next life. Well, we're going to rename this thing the Space Shuttle, I think, because it's expensive enough as the Space Shuttle to keep running. We just had a check engine light go on, and I got the code, and it needs a NOx sensor, whatever the heck that is, NOx. So we called the Freightliner dealer, and I think I'm going to have it fixed at this place on Saturday, but that added a cool $1,200 to the repair.
Dang.
So never ending. So for all you handy guys out there, and more importantly, you know, if your partner is able to do something like this, give them a pat on the back and give them a cup of coffee, because it looks like the part is about maybe $400 to $600 depending upon what you can get it for, and then all the rest of that is the labor. So that'd be a big savings if I could do it myself.
Wow.
Sue, do you want to look at some YouTube videos tonight to see if you could do it?
I can do it.
Yeah, she probably could.
I can. In my dreams.
I gotta tell you, when these guys were doing the final wipe down, I caught myself telling them probably at least 2 or 3 times, hey guys, I got the Black Friday special, I got the cheap one. They kept insisting, nope, this is the way we do it. So I'm here to tell you, I'm still impressed, even while I'm doing the editing here. Remember when I told you the guys discovered a possible soft spot up there? Well, it was at this time that the wash techs here said, hey Mark, here's that spot we were always walking in that was soft. He says you might want to have our crew look at it when they're working on your roof. And they got a ladder out and they told me exactly where it was, and they let me take a look at it myself. And then a day or two later, when this was pulled into the bay and being worked on by the technician, who really has a different skill set and has seen things that possibly these guys haven't seen, they assured me that that was okay to be soft in that area, because in fact I had air conditioning ducts in that area, and the tech knew exactly why that condition was up there. I do not have any leaks, and when I had that many professional eyes looking at it, and I had the ability to go up there myself and look at it, I just left with a really good feeling that I do not have a problem. So here's once again the professional drivers and the spotters moving your equipment around their facility, so you really don't have anything to worry about. And they're going to take Myles over and put him into a spot that has full electric, no water, no sewer, although they do have a dump station here if you would have a problem. And then we are going to have some repairs done over the next few days. This was the first step. So I have to be honest with you, I'm recording this on April 6th, 2020. And I'm a little sad right now because I can remember the feeling that Sue and I had when this day was happening. We were anticipating a couple of days of busy repairs, and then a few days later we knew we were going to shoot out and shoot down to Florida and eventually to Fort Myers, and was going to be the beginning of our winter stay down in the warm weather. And as I see Myles get putting back in position that would be our home for the night, and was kind of our life, where from one day to the next we don't really know where we're going to be, but we both really liked it and appreciated it. I can't help but wonder how long it's going to take to get back to normal and what the new normal is going to be. Sue and I would like to thank everybody that's been watching our channel for the last year. I can tell you that we're safe in Florida, we're hunkering down, we're staying in one spot. Like a lot of full-timers, we don't really know what our next move is going to be. We have to wait to see how things turn out. In the meantime, we have plenty of video that just somehow never made it to the screen because we were too busy. We've got quite a bit more time on our hands now, so we'll be taking a look at all that and see what we can bring to everyone. We look forward to sharing our time with you every Sunday and hope you continue to stop in. See you next time.